the personality. Got the personality. That's how you know you're in business.
And there we go. I don't even have to. Usually I fast pace it. And now I don't even have to. Welcome to the Cult of Personality podcast, hosted by yours truly once again, in the flesh, Mikeymcchoppa, here in Sweaty, in the humid Cult HQ. And today we're here with a great, awesome, amazing, returning guest, Deadboy. Oh my god! What's up?
Hi everybody. As Mr. McChoppa previously said, it's warm, and I'm a sweaty boy. So don't judge me if I look like I'm in Fallujah right now. It's like 84 degrees and like 100% humidity.
It's the humidity, bro.
It really be killing me.
It's the humidity, because if it was dry heat right now, I'd be chilling. There'd be some wind in here. It's just so still and wet.
I've been in like Arizona when it's like 100 degrees, and I'm like, oh, this isn't too bad. Like, I can live with this. Like, I can go for like a little stroll.
Hold on, wait. We lost the audio. Oh, it's coming back. I don't know why it does that. And, oh, now it's only recording one track. That's lame as fuck, and now we're gonna just bring it right back, and great, we're right back at it.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, I'm gonna constantly be wiping my face this whole episode, because I can feel it on my forehead. I'm shiny.
Me too, but I'm mostly a back sweater, so you guys won't be able to see that. So just please don't look at my back.
Unlucky until it's not, right?
I hate being a back sweater because I'm always wearing like some sort of backpack too. Like, I have things that I need to carry, like little items and doodads, and it gets very warm, and my back gets very sweaty. That's why I carry around with an extra shirt just in case.
That's very smart. At least you take precaution.
Oh, I think I had, yeah.
Take precaution. How have you been?
Exhausted, but not too bad. I've been playing a lot of shows. Shout out everyone who's booked me recently. Bennett, love you. Hoogle, who's now in Europe. Souls, who booked the Lil Soda Boy show. There's probably more I'm forgetting. Mullet Boy. Shout out everyone, like ever. Like all good people. But yeah, so I've been doing a lot of shows. I haven't been able to focus on music because I've been working at WNYC, NPR's branch of... NPR's New York branch. And that's been a lot of fun, but it's also like been super time consuming. So if I haven't texted you back, I'm sorry, but I've been busy. But I still love you.
I want to dive into that because I've been resisting the temptation of talking about this prior to having this camera and this microphone on. So this is gonna be a good one. Talk about like not only the NPR stuff, but just talk about like you in the journalism field, because I'm very intrigued as a fellow but not as qualified journalist. You know, you inspire me. Even your words of encouragement, like you be like, yo, Mikey, da-da-da about the pod, and yo, I really like this and that, and I'm like, yo, this is someone who's really in the shits with it, and you're like giving me a time of day, you know? So talk about that.
Yeah, so journalism's also like one of the reasons that I got so involved with like the music scene in New York City and with DJing. Initially, I had no idea what I wanted to do in life. I think I was like a nursing student or something boring that I hated. And I was just like always going to shows. One time I met this guy named Chris Brown, but not like, that Chris Brown.
Right.
And he had just like recently started up this small like independent music blog called Grooverelli. And I was taking pictures at the time, so I'd like sent him my pictures. He was like, hey, if you ever want to write, like, feel free to. And that was around when Trash Island came out by like Olive Drain Gang. I love Drain Gang, love Blade. I'm wearing the Blade pants that he wore for like a year, by the way. So I wrote about that, and I was like, oh, I love this. I love like talking about things. And I kept writing stories. I got promoted to like editor there. And so I kind of just like fell in love with journalism. And around the time I was like finishing, or was supposed to finish my associates in general science and move on to nursing, I was like, I don't want to do this. I want to do journalism. Because I kind of have a love for telling stories, like fact-based stories, and like how it affects people. So I started off with music. I did something similar to what you did. So like I started interviewing a lot of people during the pandemic. Shout out Black Winterwells, shout out Skelly, shout out everyone else who I may or may not have forgotten. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. It's kind of how I got into it. And then when I was going to school for it, I go to school in Newark, New Jersey. So there's a lot of news that happens around there. It's a very underserved community that it's now being developed for better or for worse, depending on how you look at it. I can give my own opinion. This is not like a
Yeah, you
this
don't have
this
to be professional.
this is not formal. I'm not speaking on behalf of any organization. Fuck gentrification. All you do is displace people who are already in a shitty situation while bringing resources that are within arm's reach but not financial reach. That's fucked up. I don't know what you mean by affordable housing when that shit's like $3,000. I can't afford that. And just like, why? Why are you displacing people? These are people who have lived here, who have been begging for resources. You bring it to them and say, okay, bye.
Yeah, get out.
So yeah, I got into a lot of the local issues that were going around, and just around my local community. And I was also still interested in art, so I kind of found a way to like mesh the two. I did a story maybe like a year ago, like a long form, about fashion designer Marco Hall. He's based in Newark. Grew up in Newark as well. And he was talking about, how, like, what it means to have a good, high-quality outfit, both sustainably and for just, like, one's own personal consumption. I think we overconsume as a society. I'm afraid of malls for that reason.
Yo, dead ass, bro.
Like, there's no reason that you should be like, oh, let me buy this thing off of Shein that I'm going to use once, throw it out, and end up in a landfill. You're, one, contributing to the climate crisis that we have, and two, you're also contributing to like this fast fashion where I have to have it now. So companies are like, okay, well, we'll give it to you now, but at the expense of like cheap labor.
And child labor,
cheap labor, or just outsourcing it to these developing countries that are like, yeah, we'll force our workers to work insane hours for shitty pay and fuck up our environment as well, because that shit has like some serious implications,
bro. And it's everybody just striving to be like America when America itself and like Western civilization is like failing.
Oh yeah, not only are we failing, we're also based off of like every other civilization. So we'll be like, okay, that's cool, we're gonna take that, make it our own, but fuck it up at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, and it's funny because people be like, oh, it's just like America can't exist without being imperialist.
Oh, absolutely not.
And it's crazy because you see the imperialism not only globally but even within against its own people when it comes to people who are just not white for real.
Me and you are both Puerto Rican. I'm half, full disclosure.
Hell yeah.
Looking at what they're doing in Puerto Rico, where they're giving tax breaks to mainlanders to go open up a business in Puerto Rico, but not to people who have like lived there their entire life, is fucked up.
Yeah.
How are you gonna help Puerto Rico by not helping the Puerto Rican people?
Exactly. No, it's just a way for people over here to make an opportunity and have like a safe, like a tax haven.
Oh yeah.
Just like avoiding all taxes, or very low taxes over there compared to over here. And then it's also like between that and the fucking electric grid being owned by an American company and constantly failing, we never actually got any sort of help after the hurricane. Which one? Hurricane Maria, I think it was.
Any hurricane at this point.
It literally any, because we're still crumbling from the last couple. The next one is like,
I think necessities should not be owned by private companies. We're in a day and age where you need electricity, heat, and all those resources to live. Housing is an essential resource, food, water. Why the fuck is someone like, let me make billions off of that for things that people need to survive? I feel like that should kind of be a government-owned kind of program, or at least government subsidized. But that's just me.
No, yeah, it's just whack. I mean, the fact that Puerto Rico still doesn't even have the oh my god, the representation.
Oh no! Remember when we threw a whole bunch of fucking tea over in the Boston Harbor because we weren't being represented but taxed? Hey, guess what? The hypocrisy is real.
Literally, we're taxed and we have no representation. What is it? Fucking taxation without representation.
No taxation without representation.
Exactly.
That's why we went through a fucking war of independence.
Yeah, and the fact that Puerto Rico doesn't have the right to declare its own independence, which is, what is ideal, or statehood, womp, is like insane. It's just insane.
Or even worse, return to Spain. Whatever Spanish motherfucker said that, just like...
They sent one official to represent Spain, like, yeah, maybe we should just revert that.
Maybe we should just take it back. No, but
and do what?
probably not give us our European citizenship, just use us as a colony to extract resources, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, they're mad that they lost all that stuff
Yeah.
in the late 1800s. Bro, it's just it's very upsetting. But it's cool. It's cool that within your journalism, you know, like, you touch on these different subjects, both, like, you know, obviously we're here in the mainland United States, but we see how the struggle is connected all over.
I think New York is a really interesting place because it kind of exacerbates a lot of the problems that the rest of the country and its territories have, just because there's so many people from so many different walks of life. And a lot of them are represented in a small scale in a concentrated area, but that can really be blown up kind of worldwide.
Yeah. Bro, New York is crazy for the fact, and America is crazy for the fact that it was built on, like,
Slave labor and
exploitation, and straight up, like, bigotry in all ways and forms.
Oh, yeah.
And then I don't think they expected, like, any of these people to, like, last. I don't know what their plan was for, like, the settler state. But now they don't even try to, like, accommodate for, like, the indigenous people they displaced and the Africans they also displaced and enslaved and still exploit and false incarcerate to this day and X, Y, and Z.
I think a really good example is, like, look at the location of Native American settlements previous to American colonization, or even, like, during. And now look at where they're at now. A lot of these places are, like, their lands are infertile, they're undesirable, and they're there because we were like, we can't use it. It's pretty much useless for anything that we need. Let's just give it to them. I don't think there were any reservations previous to us kicking the Native Americans westward. Because, like, I went to, not Nebraska, North Dakota to help rebuild some of the houses down there. And I think it was really crazy because I was hearing a couple of stories. And these are stories that have been passed down for, like, 3 generations, so not too long. But they were like, yeah, they just put us here because there's nothing here. You can't grow any food. It's pretty much inaccessible, and it's, like, fucked up.
It's like barren desert 9 times out of 10. Like, when you look at, like, Oklahoma and, like, people like that, it's like...
Like, I wouldn't want to live there. Imagine someone kicking me out of my comfortable home and sending me to the middle of nowhere.
Bro, like, land you had for, like, thousands and thousands of years.
Fucking cultivated land.
It's insane. And so, with that, it's just crazy because we see it in New York City because we have a very diverse city and very many populations that descend, if not are directly these populations that back then, you know, it's like, it's fucked up. It's really fucked up. And the fact that it's, like, not addressed or that it's overlooked, it's kind of like, oh, who cares? It's like, the white supremacist agenda is very real. It's very fucked up within the media and the government, etc.
I concur. 100%.
Oh, yeah. But back to Deadboy and journalism. I don't know exactly where we tangent off from, but let's get back on track.
Okay, I know the timeline. I'm very aware of the timeline. So, they both, journalism and Deadboy, kind of happened at the same time. It came from me feeling like I needed some sort of, like, online persona separate from who I really was, just in case, like, I decided to take journalism seriously, which I did. And so I created this, like, kind of online persona of Deadboy where I would, like, not beg, but I'd be like, would you let me interview you, please? And that was during the height of the pandemic when we were all trapped, and I was, like, really into music. I'm going to put this in big air quotes because I after further analysis, I don't believe it actually exists, but, like, during the hyperpop blow-up, that's kind of when I started, like, getting into, like, actually, like, producing stuff and making stuff, and really, like, appreciating music. So, again, shout out Grooverelli. When things kind of loosened up and we were able to host shows, we had a show at Market Hotel. Shout out the old Market Hotel. I don't like the way they operate now, but they do their thing. And it was with Black Winterwell, Sebi.
Let me plug in the camera real quick. Keep talking.
He's gonna plug in the camera. Black Winterwell, Sebi, Yard Sale, just a whole bunch of people that I was, like, listening to for quite some time. And they're like, well, he DJs, he being me, because I'd bought a small, like, Pioneer thing just so I could practice and, like, have fun with during the pandemic. Shout out that stimulus check.
Word up.
No, that shit hit. I got so many doodads and trinkets and gadgets. It's almost like you have a better quality and outlook on life when you don't need to violently struggle to survive.
Deadass.
Um, but yeah, so like I started DJing from there, and I started like taking kind of more seriously as a thing that I enjoy a little bit more than a hobby. Um, and like through my connections with like interviewing musicians and artists and stuff, that kind of boosted me to like, you know, being an eyesight of people. And then with like local connections, people like Lil Poof, who like knew me from doing like journalism and like videography and photography and stuff, like Mullet Boy and Good Hits. I don't know if Bennett knew me prior to like anything else, but I don't know. But yeah, I kind of like put my name out there through journalism, and kind of people picked that up, or picked up the DJ part as well. So that's kind of how I got my start, and yeah.
That's sick. And so how did this NPR opportunity, what is it? How'd that come and reach you?
I'm not gonna disclose that information.
All right, fair enough.
It's not through any nefarious means, but it's very personal.
I get you.
It goes into like a lot of like details about my life and like what I needed to do that, and like where I've been and what I've done.
Bet. So with that out of the way, because I wanted to really get that I really wanted to get into that conversation, but I'll not beat around the bush, or I'll just get the question out of the way. The question that we all wait for, and the question that this podcast runs on. Deadboy. The name, the image, the aura, and the energy. Pretty much how to start, how to get here. Your whole origin story, or however you interpret the question.
I was born in a little farm out on South Dakota. Moved to the bayou, became Tommy. Why by so mean to? No, I've always been really into music. I think my first CD I got when I was like 3, and it was a Finding Nemo based CD. I think it was like Sounds of the Ocean or Deep Blue or something like that. Something like ocean related. And then I like got older, and I started like I had like an MP3 player, and I'd illegally download songs onto it and cause great chaos to the family computer. My mom is also a drummer, lovely woman. So there was always some sort of music playing, whether it was through me, through my mom. So I've always kind of had it around, and it was always like an importance. I found out that my dad was actually a DJ back in the day.
How'd you find that out? It sounds like
he called me. Oh, there's a snake in there. I was wondering what was in there.
Yeah, that's my corn snake.
I was wondering what was in the little enclosure, but he called me one day. Me and my dad don't talk. He's kind of a mean person, but he called me one day. He's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, you know, I'm doing this, and I'm DJing." He was like, "You know, I used to be a DJ," and I was like, "Oh, cool." He was like, "You used to put crayons in my subwoofers," and I was like, "I was a child." So I mean,
damn, why you gotta throw the shade, pops?
Yeah, no, he was like, yeah, you put crayons in my subwoofers, and then I couldn't play music. I was like, that's crazy.
Whoops.
I'd be upset too, though. But like, I wouldn't throw it back at them when they like grow up. But that's besides the point. So yeah, I guess it's just kind of music has always been like an integral part of my life. And I think having access to people who I really thoroughly do enjoy and look up to, kind of like solidified my idea of like I also want to do something adjacent to this, but I can't fucking sing. I cannot sing for the life of me. I have no pitch. Shout out Autotune, shout out Metatune, shout out plugins. So I was like, I'm definitely not going to be a singer. I don't want to be someone who like heavily vocalizes their voice. But then I figured like I like sound, and I like how I like, you know, the background beats. I like all that stuff. And I was like, okay, I'll try my hand at that. Let's see if that works. And I took a lot of inspiration from Skrillex too, like in terms of like his style and like stuff he does. That's like an origin story. Name comes from one time I was playing with my friends outside, and I think we were playing like soccer or baseball, but we had like hit the ball to a very mean lady's window. We didn't break it. I don't think it was his window, actually. I think it may have just been like a door or something like not super solid that you can hear it reverberate. And she was like, "You're gonna be a dead boy," and I was like, "Okay." And for some reason, when I was thinking of my online persona, that popped up. It was like an unlocked memory when I was like deep in the database, like that one. So that's how I got my name. So that's the name.
The image.
The image. I just like things. Like, I feel like if we're talking about like the image of my personality, I'm like pretty much like this. I'm just like a sweet little guy who like loves his friends and Minecraft and stuff. Um, I think it kind of stems from me being like an outcast in high school, like one of those emo kids who like really like Minecraft. But now that's apparently fucking cool. So whatever. You know,
Word up.
fuck everyone who said Minecraft is weird. I love that shit.
Where did your love for Minecraft begin?
Don't know. I illegally downloaded it on my jailbroken iPod. And I just love building things and then blowing them up and then rebuilding them. There was like endless possibilities. And then when I found out you could like put mods in Minecraft, it was fucking done for. It was done. Oh, actually, no, I do know. This one girl broke up with me when I was 15, so I started a Minecraft world and sheltered in my room during spring break, and I just like religiously played that map every time any mild inconvenience. But now it started off as a source of sadness, but now it's like a source of happiness. Like I have
A
lore for that.
comfort server. That's crazy.
I have full fucking lore. Like, how long did it take for me to like explain the lore of what my Minecraft? It took a very long time for me to explain just the lore that I've like built in my head for my one Minecraft world. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's very relaxing. I can do whatever I want. I can build whatever I want. And I'm the only person who ever plays in it. That being said, there is an election coming up soon, and I'm looking forward to what the outcome's gonna be. Yeah, no,
You have a whole government
oh, hell yeah.
in your Minecraft world?
Yeah, they're very close together, but they all hate each other.
I was about to say, what are the politics looking like?
So the newest district, or the newest region is a green region set up by former scholars who were like, what if instead of working on like trying to kill each other, we like focus on maybe bettering ourselves so we can some brief background. Earth had fallen to like geological and climate change, sent a whole bunch of people to Mars, fucking did a flat world of like just red sand and shit, and it's just like rebuilding new civilizations. Yeah, so like the green district is scholars who are like working on bettering like the conditions of everyone, because you know you can't like walk outside, you have to live in pods.
Right.
So they're working on that, but they also have to build up their military, because every other district is like, oh well, you can't do that, we're not going to recognize you and we're going to claim your territory.
Oh shit.
Yeah, red is kind of like modern day Russia, where it's like, yeah, we're communists, but not really. It's just one dude who's kind of like hoarding all the wealth and watching everyone else die. And there's the blue district who is somewhat socialist, but they also are kind of populated by the richest of the rich, and amongst themselves, you know, they take care of each other. And then there's the capital, who was always at odds with the red district, allied with the blue district, but is now like violently opposed to the green district because more people are moving over there because the quality of life is better and because there are opportunities. So now like you have like these differing views between red and green, but they have to ally together because you're taking on the powerhouse that is the capital in the blue district. I can't believe I said that out loud and that it's going to be published on the internet. If anyone if you see me with my laptop, just know you can see my world.
That's lit. I think it's so dope that there's this lore. And you know what? You've previously mentioned it before. I don't know if it was in the Princess Mob interview.
Probably all of them. Any opportunity to talk about my Minecraft world, I will talk about it.
Yeah, and that's so cool for you to like actually dig into it. And like, that's crazy. So how long have you had it for? Just before we like get over this.
How long have I had that world or Minecraft in general?
Both.
Minecraft probably like 2013. Whenever it was available on like iPod and stuff. And that world was 2015 October.
9 years running. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's super cool.
No, I love that world.
Yeah. I feel like that's an integral part of your personality that I had to cover, because I don't know, when you hear bars about Minecraft coming out of Deadboy's mouth on his like one and only verse that I've heard, you know it's for real. So that's cool. I fucking love Minecraft.
Oh, if someone says they don't love Minecraft, then I don't believe you. Like, you haven't tried it. You haven't experienced it. There's so much to experience. There's so much to do.
You must just have like, bro, you literally, even if you have no creativity, you could play survival and like be like a hunter-gatherer.
Oh, yeah.
And like, so it's not like even, oh, you have no creativity. You just don't have any initiative.
Yeah, you're just NPC.
Like, I was gonna say like a bot.
Best described as a color beige. But yeah, so going back to like the image, personality wise, it's just kind of who I have been. And I think people are more like into what I have been, like kind of like that alternative style of like gamer guys, or like not even gamer guys, but like gamers in general. Kind of mixed with that like aspect of like I was an emo kid. Shout out Skrillex too. I feel like he made looking emo slightly acceptable in other genres besides like or subcultures than emo. Um, and for how I look, man, I've been dyeing my hair since I was like 12, and I just don't want to stop. Like I don't know what I look like with black hair anymore. I'm kind of scared. The way I dress is just kind of like little things I like here and there, which also comes from like things that I like in real life, like music, and having strong boots to curb stomp Nazi skulls into curbs. So that's
Real
the image.
shit. What's your favorite color hair that you've done?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I want to say green, specifically electric lizard green from Manic Panic, because it glows. And once I started learning how to do lights, and I saw that like I was fucking glowing, I was like, that's awesome. I feel like that's part of the aura too, like the glowing hair. It sucks to keep up because then it just kind of turns into a yellow and it fades out. But God, it was so freaking cool. I love that.
What made you do blue?
I was trying to think of a color that would kind of still match with like all the stuff that I had that was green, because I was green for maybe like 2 years, which is the longest stretch of any color.
Yeah, I feel like for as long as I've known you, you've had green hair until this moment.
Yeah, that was the longest stretch of color I had. So I was talking with my lovely girlfriend about what colors we could do, and she was like, I don't really want to do green, and I was like, okay, she has green eyes, so we concluded it wouldn't match well, but I thought like, okay, blue will still look good with green. She's willing to do it. I'm willing to do it. And also the mullet was getting very hot like back here, especially with New York City humidity this summer.
Right.
So it's like cut it, dye it, now it's blue. And I really like it.
And it's like more of like, I would want to say like a mohawk, but it's not giving that. It has too much flair.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't really know what it is. I just said I want the top longer than the bottom and hit me with that mid fade.
And it worked out good.
Oh, no, definitely. Yeah, no, I love it. And plus, like, now I'm not sweating as much in the back of my neck, which is awesome. I don't like sweating. I don't think anyone does, but yeah. The aura. I don't really know how to explain it. Just know that I have a high amount of aura. And I'm a pretty based guy. I'm a pretty stand-up, nifty guy.
I've been asking that question, like, way before aura was ever, like,
I know.
slang. And so now I kind of feel like cringe whenever I even ask it, because I feel like people are going to think I'm like one of these like internet kids like trying to be like cool. I'm like, no, that's like a word I genuinely fuck with.
I forgot what game. I think it was like the Avatar game for like GameCube, like Avatar: The Last Airbender. And there was something about aura, and I was like, whoa.
Wow, that's crazy.
I think it had to do with like what abilities you could do, and the higher your aura, the more abilities you could like you could do. So like, I mean, that being said, can you edit in like fire just?
Yeah, that's it.
That's my aura points right there.
Boom.
And what was the last one?
The image aura, the energy, which is kind of like the aura, but you just unlocked a crazy memory with that Avatar: Last Airbender on the GameCube. That's real as fuck.
Dude, I have so many of my GameCube games, but no GameCube, and every time I like think about it, I'm like, the memory of Shadow with a fucking Glock just like poisons my mind, and I'm like, if anyone has a GameCube for a reasonable price, I am willing to talk. Please.
I haven't seen a GameCube since my childhood. It's not like any other system.
No, and then I found my Wii that I knew I could plug my like GameCube games in, but the disc reader doesn't work, and I'm not going to spend the time repairing it because I'll probably fuck it up.
Yeah. Oh,
I may be a builder, but I'm not a tinkerer.
Yeah, we're talking about systems that are over, like, if not 20 years old, over 20 years old.
Yeah, definitely.
Literally. It's insane. We're getting old. Anyway, the energy.
I think music is important, but I think what it brings to an individual person is more important. I've told Bennett this a fuck ton of times, but I think bringing the experience to a show is more important than the music, especially in the music scene we're in. Like, some people just shouldn't be like making music. Like, no shade to anyone specific, but there are just some people who, like, you don't need to be making music. You're not adding anything to like any sort of genre. You're not doing anything new. It's relatively boring. Yeah. And I mean, I also kind of felt that way with myself when I was DJing because there were so many fucking New York City DJs who literally just press play and pause and don't know what a low, mid, or high fucking knob does, or like how to like transition songs. So I was like, okay, let me like separate myself. So obviously I learned some music theory. I learned what all the knobs and buttons on my stuff does. I uh, learned about frequencies, picking them up, putting them down, what you need, what you don't need. And I think with kind of like now, okay, so now I know Two Hollis is blowing up now, but I knew him maybe like 1 or 2 years ago, and like seeing like the crazy light shows and like how he kind of edits his videos to be like very flashy, I feel like that stimulated my brain in a way that I was like, I need to do lights. And I think when you look at like these huge EDM festivals, and like lights are a very big like integral part of kind of the experience. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna fucking play like DEF CON or Tomorrowland like anytime soon, but at least let me like recreate what I like. Um, so yeah, started learning how to do DMX programmable lighting. I like kind of not perfected because I think there's always room for improvement, but like I've vastly improved my kind of DJing repertoire and my skill set with that. Um, and I think through journalism as well, I've learned how to like decipher music, lyrics, all that stuff. That being said, my only two bars, one of them talks about Minecraft, and the other one I sampled of every mean voice note that someone had put on their Instagram story. So lyrically, I can decipher, but in practice, I suck. I don't even remember the original question.
You know, I think we were just answering the last part of image or energy, but I like what I like about your live performances and what you do, like with the lights and stuff. I like that shit, and you know, talking about like Skrillex as an inspiration. I feel like when it came to that whole like I don't know, like I was like a gamer kid. I just like dubstep for the sake of being like a nerd and like oh yeah, gaming dubstep. And so like being really into Skrillex, bro, and like watching like live raves and shit on like YouTube, you would just see like the fucking laser lights, like you know, like you had the epileptic warning before the video started.
Yeah, no, I feel like I should probably put that disclaimer before my set goes on. But yeah, no, like I was a huge inspiration. Like a lot of those bright flashing lights, and don't I don't like Coco Melon, but I do like bright flashing lights. So yeah, I think it adds to the experience of whoever's going. If it doesn't blind you completely, then I think you'll kind of be not amazed, but at least be fascinated by like the work that is put into it. At least that's how I feel when I see others. But also kind of just brings me a sense of joy. And it's like, oh my god, like yes, this sounds good, but this also looks good. And I think that's why artists also like have a big focus on music videos as well. Not even goes into the image as well. But yeah, no, that's me. I like to do things and make other people happy.
Real shit. No, yeah, I think it's so cool that you put like emphasis on just like well, I know it has to do with the question as well of just image, but like you know the fact that you make that extra step to put that effort in, you know, it's really lit.
There's so many DJs in New York and around the world. It's way oversaturated, but I think kind of like distinguishing yourself with something that is readily kind of visible, kind of I feel like it pushes me to not only like improve what I do sound wise, but also visually and just all around in general, because I definitely am competing with people who have been doing this much longer than me and who have a bigger name than me, and I think it's good that like friendly competition, but also there's like a lot of people who are just fucking full of themselves and think they're like the best thing ever. So I think I'm assuming, but I feel like maybe it'll either push them to kind of be more creative and do more, or realize, hey, maybe this isn't for me.
Yeah.
Maybe I should learn a trade, because we need fucking carpenters and engineers.
I like that you want to be that power in music, just the power of like, hey, I want you to see me perform and either fulfill with joy as a consumer or as a fellow artist, realize, hey, maybe I'm not as good as this guy.
Yeah, and even if you're not as good as me, that's okay. Like, there are still people that I will never be as good as. But I think, like, trying to consistently improve your craft and improve what you do will run you light years ahead of if you're just like,
Nah.
I'm not that good, but like, you know, I still got a name and I still got followers and I still wear like Rick Owens every day. So.
Yeah, that's when you find the people who are like clout demons, you know.
Oh yeah, no 100. And don't get me wrong, I have Rick Owens and I still have room to improve. Where are my shoes at?
I got Rick Owens, but I also got substance in my shit.
I still have a pair of Rick Owens, but you can have a conversation with me about just about anything, and I can talk about it in detail, in length, and also provide some interesting insight to your life.
And you know what? A lot of y'all motherfuckers can't do that.
Can I tell you how many times I've had a conversation with someone where I thought I was talking to a fucking brick wall? Like, have a personality besides, like, being a Cardi clone.
Yo, dead ass, you know? It's just people like, yo... People like, what are you at a show at if you're not trying to socialize or dance or like be a part of the music, you know? Like trying to contribute something, whether to the vibes or to the community aspect or to the art. Like people just be there to play dress up and say nothing.
I think it's crazy that when people go to shows, they feel like they're in competition with like the people who are actually performing at the show. And, like, sometimes I feel bad, too, because, like, I'll go to shows and I'll get recognized, but I'm like, I don't want to be the focus of this. Like, I want you to look at the person performing, soak it in, synthesize it in your mind, and understand, like, why you are here.
Yeah, realize whose name was on the poster.
Oh, yeah. I think more people need to realize that the world does not revolve around you.
Deadass. Real shit.
And you're not that cool outside of your diaspora of, like, Rico and Clout Demons.
Real shit. That's why, like, a lot of people surround themselves with, like, alike minds, aka, like, yes men. I think that shit's so whack, mob mentality.
I love, like, surrounding myself with people who think like me, but I also like to have a couple of people who are completely opposite from me. Because one, that introduced me to new things I don't think I'd ever find on my own. And two, like, I think those are the kind of people that I'd go to for advice. Like, hey, how does this sound? And I mean, obviously, when I do music, I do it for, like, a group of people who I would say I market myself to. But I think hearing when someone who cares, who doesn't care at all about, like, the type of thing I do, and when they appreciate it, I'm like, okay, I'm doing something right. I'm doing something that's maybe a little bit more niche, but still understandable and appreciated to other people. So I think it's always essential to have no men. I think you need at least one or two. You need
some real motherfuckers around you. It's not even about like people who think alike or think differently. It's just you need honest people around you, and I think that's where the root of the issue is. It's just inauthenticity. If you have a bunch of fake motherfuckers around you, it's done. It's over.
One of my best friends, Friday, love that kid. He'll send me stuff all the fucking time, and I love it. But sometimes there are things that are like, oh, it's not for me, or like I'll critique it. I'll be like, this isn't really for me. I don't really like this, or this. And I mean that's up to him if he wants to take what I say, and implement that. But I think you're marginally better being critiqued than you are just saying good job. Like you will learn more and become a better person and grow. If you... Fuck, what was I saying? If you, Mikey's moving things and it distracted me.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to just get, like, a breeze in here, you feel me?
It is very warm.
It's very warm.
If you have people who will critique you, you'll be a marginally better person in all aspects at the end of the day.
Deadass. No cap.
And while we're mentioning people, like, I love, shout out Unpolarize, love you to death, that's my brother. Shout out Mikey, one of my favorite journalists who has not been bought out by Live Nation or any media conglomerates. Friday, Ebony Rave, APYCM, Mullet Boy, Good Hits, Lil Poof, Bennett, Blasian. Shout out Ami. Ami, I love you. I think you're gonna be really big one day. Let's see who else. Chicken Lover, Adam, and a whole list of other people. Pure Dro, that man is fucking handsome. I'm not gonna lie, that is a handsome looking man. But I also like what he does. He has a really good.
I really like what he does with his content and overall just what he is, cause
it's very personable. I feel like I'm there. I mean, half the time I am, but when I'm not, I feel like I am.
Word. And there's like no title I would put on him. I would just say he's just like good vibes.
100%.
It's like whether he's doing the camera shit or he's on some manager shit or just whatever he's doing. They be doing the skits for like Stain and stuff, and I'm like, they just are good vibes.
Yeah, no. Shout out everyone who I've worked with who have good vibes. I love you all. You will make me possible.
I'm gonna ask a question. I have two questions in my head, and I'm gonna ask one first. How'd you get so like networked in with like
wish I could tell you. I wish I knew.
I'm like, you're like everywhere. You'll be on every poster. You'll be everywhere.
I know, and I only now realized this when I was playing the Little Soda Boy show this weekend. One of my friends called me, and they were like, "Oh yeah, one of my friends invited me to a Soda Boy show." And they sent me the flyer, and he was like, "Is that like, are you like that Deadboy that is on the flyer?" I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "How?" And I was like, "Honestly, I don't know. Someone just asked me." I don't know. I think just like consistently playing shows and having people like see you, and like I've been in the scene for quite some time too, so I think having people like both see me and having worked with so many people kind of branches out to like, okay, like I know he does this and I've seen him do this and I know he does this good, so let him do this. Now I meet a new group of people who like have a completely different kind of like crowd that they bring in, and it's kind of like the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And that also came with like the music journalism stuff too. It's like people like knew my name from that, and they knew what I did, and they knew like my work, and they're like, okay, this work is good. Let's do work together. And then now a new group of people. So it's kind of like,
pretty much I'm just goated at everything I do, and people recognize that.
no, I think I'm just genuinely a nice, wholesome guy who like doesn't get into trouble and like
Word up.
tries to constantly better himself. So I think people see that.
You're very like, yeah, you're very down to earth. You're very humble. You're very like, you're very just like about your craft. Like you can't dislike anybody who's like that. You're just doing your thing, and you're just.
There's very little that I've done wrong in terms of like, I guess socially. Like I don't fucking, I'm not a weird person.
You're not problematic.
Yeah, no, I
anything, you know?
I try to say to myself, I don't cause problems. I play Minecraft, and I'll talk about that. For the most part, yeah, as long as like you're cool, I'm cool. As long as you don't do anything weird, I'm not gonna do anything weird. Overall, it's just kind of like a person. But I think that's also because like I have other avenues of things I do that kind of like round me into a well kind of formed person socially.
Hell yeah. I respect you a lot for how about, like, you're just about the real shit, you know? You just, there's no bullshit to you, you know? You don't bullshit.
Oh, no, I don't have no need to.
You feel me?
Just an all-around cool guy.
Hell yeah. Mentioning previously, talking a little about, like, the Skrillex conversation and stuff like that, I want to talk about, like, inspirations, musicians, or anything that inspires you.
Ooh, okay, this could either be a really long list, but I'm gonna try to condense it as much, like, into different categories. Skrillex, as we previously mentioned, I think what he did for EDM, kind of music as a whole, is just kind of crazy. Like, the grasp that he had on this whole emerging genre and, like, what it's become now. Recently, to Hollis, I think, I know he's a nepotism baby, and I can accept that. I can accept the fact that everything may or may not have probably been given to him. I can accept the fact that he was in a Skrillex video. While I'm not happy about it, I still love the work that he does. He still puts in the work, at least.
Yeah, it's good. As long as they exceed, like, because I don't like nepo babies either. I don't like anyone who's, like, handed their platform. But if you can exceed, like, that title and just overall be...
Yeah, no, I
like,
think
alright.
even though, like, he has an amazing support system, like, off-rip, like, he does his editing, for his videos, he does his own production, he does everything himself, so I can kind of look past the nepotism, but, like, a lot of the work that he does is very inspiring, because he's once again kind of pushing that EDM genre, like, further than what it was previously thought to be, kind of like a mix of, like... rap, hip hop, EDM, of course, pop. He does a lot of really interesting stuff that I think a lot of people who are comfortable wouldn't attempt. Who else? Lil Peep. I think he showed me that like a normal average person can kind of like make a name for themselves. Definitely super inspirational. Who else? Grian, he's a popular Minecraft YouTuber. Used to watch him a lot during the pandemic when I had nothing else to do. Taught me everything I know about Redstone. I love Redstone. A lot of all the people that I previously mentioned, they kind of just, if I don't see them doing something that's like, wow, that's amazing, and I want to like kind of be on that level and that caliber, they show me that like a good work ethic and like, just kind of all around honing your craft can really go a long way. I think a really good example of that is in Polarized. Like, I heard their music Like, I've listened to their entire catalog at least like 10 different times, and I think seeing their progression, or his progression, is fucking amazing. And being so close to him, I'm like, okay, he's doing this. He's like growing like this, which kind of makes me feel like if I want to keep up, because we do work a lot together, I have to grow like this.
DJ Silly Boys.
Oh yeah, DJ Silly Boys for that one show. Oh my god, I love that. I forgot about that. So we got to bring back DJ Silly Boys. But yeah, huge inspiration. Always striving to kind of like grow with him. What else? Star Wars. Fucking space religion cantatas. It's beautiful. Old MTV when it was actually about music and like giving people the opportunity. Hunter S. Thompson, you crazy motherfucker, whether in heaven or hell, I love you. I think a goal for a while was like, oh, I want to be on the Cult of Personality podcast. That must be so cool.
Oh, shush, Mr. 3-time appearing.
Yeah, but I haven't had an exclusive. I had a lot of words to say, but we all needed to say words.
Word.
Like, for the Princess Mob one, there was like fucking 10 people. And
all on my couch sprawled.
Yeah. And
that was great.
And then the Call Me on Your Flip Phone, like that was Scum Cowboys' time to shine. I was just chiming in with my little tidbits. But yeah, no, I mean, I've seen a lot of your interviews. I'm not gonna say all because I'd be lying. I was like, oh, that's so cool. I want to be on that. Inspiration.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank
Ronnie
you.
Radke and the grip that he had on me when I was 12 and first heard Falling in Reverse had me saying some things that I probably shouldn't have said at that young of an age. However, it's okay.
How do you feel about how he's aged over time? A lot of his controversies now.
I think he's grown as a person, in some aspects. He's a father now, and I think he kind of understands that, like, you know, the importance of being a role model to some kids. And I think he's kind of like toned down some of the stuff he's done, like some of his previous stuff. That being said, he's kind of a fucking asshole, and I think he's extremely aware of it. But he does it in a way that's like, I can accept it. I can accept it until he crosses a threshold. Like, what's he doing now? Going, like, when grown adults will talk about him on TikTok, he'll just like clap back with that little dun 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 dun. And I'm like, you know, I can't even be mad because these are adults. I understand the implications of what they're saying. So yeah, I think he's matured. He's a fucking asshole, but at least he's a somewhat respectable asshole. There are some people who like fucking beat their girlfriends or talk to minors or like fucking are all around bad people. He's a bad person, just not to that degree.
Fair enough.
And I think he's grown as a person.
Fair enough. That's real. Real as fuck. No, yeah. Once I hear Ronnie Radke, I'm like, that's a polarizing figure, right? I don't know.
The grip that he had on me at 12 years old was just insane, first of all. I didn't know about the controversies, nor did I understand the implications that they'd have on other people. But I fucking love that shit. A lot of that, like, general group. Think about, like, Hot Topic in 2014 and the, like, band wall, and all those guys had some sort of creation and were a part of my formative time as a DJ.
Word up. 2000s, yeah. You're really... I like that about you. I like that you're not afraid to acknowledge, like, I feel like not only your inspirations, but just, like, culture. I feel like people be trying too hard now to be, like, so modern and, like, they're too cool for the shit that we've done in the past.
Oh, hell fucking no.
I think it's so cool that you, like, incorporate all that shit and embrace it.
Dude, that is the most formative part of my life. That, like, late 2000s to mid 2010s. Like, that's what it was, like, bam, on my brain. Like, that, like, mushed my brain up and then reformed it. And I can't hide it. Like, I feel like it'd be kind of... It doesn't feel right to hide the things that, like, I enjoyed. And, like, the things that kind of brought me to where I am. Because I think it sucks that, like, people feel like, oh, they need to hide the fact that I like this or I like this. I mean, some stuff, yeah. But, like, if it's that bad that you need to hide it, maybe you just need to be fucked up. Like, so maybe someone just needs to fucking knock your head in. Like, oh, yeah, I love the teachings of XYZ, and XYZ is a fucking horrible person. Maybe I just need to knock some sense into you.
Literally.
But, I mean, for the most part, I think most of the people that I look up to, and still do continue to look up to, are reasonably okay people. you know, everyone has done some fucked up shit in their life. I think if you learn from it, grow from it, and continue to change, unless it's like a heinous thing, like I don't mind. I don't mind sharing that.
Real as fuck.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Nah, I think what's cool about you is that you're real as fuck. Dead boy. Real boy.
I just like I don't find the need to like hide anything, you know? I think if I like something, I want other people to like it. Unless I'm super gatekeeping it. Like user 573321 on like SoundCloud, who has like 5 like plays on this fucking crazy ass song. Like I'm not gonna tell nobody about that.
Exactly.
But yeah, for the most part, I think if you find pictures of me on like my mom's Facebook, maybe perhaps you can see me wearing a lot of band t-shirts. I was a really big 21 Pilots fan, and that's like embarrassing, but I will
The 21 Pilot fan phase was canon for like, trust me. I was a part of the Skeleton Clique or whatever the fuck it was called.
Oh no, yeah.
I was deep in it.
It was embarrassing. I was looking up fucking lore on fucking like Tumblr and shit, but that don't matter, cuz it made me who I am today.
Real as fuck. Hell yeah. I love that. I honestly sometimes, like, as cringy as it is to, like, look back at it, I look back at it with fondness, that whole era of
100%.
music and media and everything.
Yeah. I have no complaints about it. Would I listen to it now? No.
No.
Am I proud of, like, the fact that I was fucking painting my hands black to look like Tyler Joseph and I try to fry my hair to look like Josh Dunn? No. But will I talk about it? Will I admit it? Fuck yeah, dude. That's who I am.
Yeah.
If you find a picture of me like in that time of my life, please send it to me because I've been looking for them.
Word up.
Cheers to that.
Oh man, that era was just so influential. Haircuts, bad fashion choices.
The swag revolution.
It's terrible. But speaking about all this Deadboy past, I want to start talking about like kind of present and what you've been up to now, because I feel like we heavily covered the lore. Oh, yeah. We're like almost an hour in, and we're just now transitioning from lore.
So I am taking a break from performances. It's very exhausting.
Understandably so.
I'm finishing up my time at WNYC and Gothamist. I am recording my last spot, which is a news/broadcast term. For when a reporter is speaking without any actuality, which is like someone else speaking.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be played on All Things Considered, hopefully, within the next week. So I'm finishing that up. I'll do the recording tomorrow. And I sent in a resume to Pitchfork to join their editorial team. So we might see a reemergence of Deadboy as a music journalist.
Oh yes.
And I think with like all the time that I'm gonna kind of have over the next couple of months, I'm definitely gonna work on like music and then lights for that music, and then go back to the music because the lights look weird, but that's because it sounds weird. And most importantly, hanging out with my friends, which I haven't done in quite some time.
You've been busy.
I've been so busy. It's not because I hate you guys. It's just because I've been busy. Yeah, and I think just taking some time to, like, exist and be a normal person and, like, kind of step away from, like, journalism or music. Just kind of, like, live life for a little bit, play Minecraft, go places, eat food, maybe frolic. A good frolic would be good for my, like, mental health.
Through the meadows.
Yeah, be fucking awesome. Not the Brooklyn meadows. Like, I want, like, a field.
An actual meadow.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically what I'm saying is work in silent and hang out with my friends and be me and silly and play games.
Word up. That's dope. Where can you find like your journalism stuff, like the work you've been doing, whether under this company or just in general?
So you could either look up my real name, which I'm a bit hesitant to say, but might as fucking well because I've talked so much about it. Naeem Ali Pacheco. Actually,
nice roll off the tongue.
Yeah, right. And actually, I recently just changed my WordPress user to be that as well, because I guess I really want to, like, be recognized and have clips. So for journalist stuff, if you look up my name, Naeem Ali Pacheco, you'll probably find a lot of my journalism stuff. And if you're on, like, YouTube, Sit Down with Deadboy or Grooverelli, you'll find a lot of my older, like, interview stuff, kind of like what Mikey does, what you do.
I'm gonna take a look at those.
Yeah.
I'm gonna enjoy them, cause you talk so fondly of me. I'm like, I really need to get into the Deadboy discography, or however like you want to say it, whatever ography that is all your work.
You gotta get into the archives.
The archives, cause you're a big inspiration for me. I want to see what you were doing back then. Maybe it might even help improve the cult of personality.
Oh, dude, honestly, if you, like, take some sort of inspiration or learn anything from it, please let me know. I'm going to be so fucking happy. I'm going to be ecstatic. I'm going to jump around in my room and be like, yippee, hooray!
I'm going to let you know for sure, because I've been wondering, because I know you're like a man of all trades. You just be doing your thing. You just be a silly little guy or whatever.
Yeah, no. I fixed my girlfriend's toilet the other day.
That's real as fuck.
I know how to solder 2 wires together. I know how to do a lot of things. A lot of little interesting little tasks that I can do. I'm a man of many trades. You might see me one night DJ, and then you might see me the next, like, soldering wires or, like, on the street. No, it's funny. I was doing a report on 2 new pieces of legislation that Councilman Francisco Moya was kind of introducing, and so I had to go to Roosevelt Ave to just kind of like see what's up, talk to people. There was a dude fucking running. He was like, "Yo, you're that dude from the fucking Ami's birthday rave," and I was like, "Oh, god damn it! I've been spotted in a different job. I need to switch personas back and forth. How do I do this?" But
that's crazy.
Yeah, it was something that I had like briefly thought about, but like, oh, I'll be fine. I feel like wherever I'm at is going to be vastly different than where like the people I perform for are at. But apparently not. So I mean, I don't even remember what we were initially talking about. But I'm a man of many trades.
Don't matter. That's lit, man.
I can change a tire too, like a car tire.
Wow.
And jumpstart a car.
That's a skill that not many people have.
I know, it's actually weird. I had to do it. I had to jumpstart 2 of my friends' cars the other day, and I was like, how do you guys not know this?
Motherfuckers don't be having like dads and shit. It's really what it be.
I didn't either. I got 2 moms.
Well,
okay, I say that, but one of my mothers was in the military, the Puerto Rican one, who is like my biological mother, and the other mother is very good with like technology and computers. And she's also a black belt in some sort of fighting technique. You don't need a dad. You just need good role models, and you can find those yourself. You can look up to people who you look up to. Like, that's okay.
Word up. Real shit. That's dope. Yeah, no, it really is such a lost skill. But then again, not many people can afford a car.
Oh, that's true, but I think it's also important to just kind of, like, have these certain skills. You never know when it comes up.
For sure.
Like, if you're on a fucking, I don't know, in an Uber, and someone's in their car, like, died, and be like, oh, I can, like, help out with that. Like, you gotta get to the place just as much as they gotta take you there.
Word.
It'd be kind of terrifying if the person who is driving you doesn't know how to jumpstart a car or change their tire, but still, it's always nice to have the ability to do things.
You're in an Uber with a driver who doesn't know what they're doing. How is it on 5% if it's charging? That doesn't make any sense. That's so whack. You better not die. Anyhow, I mean, I'm pretty close to, like, I feel like, close to wrapping it up.
Yeah, I feel like we got a lot of the lore out. We got what I'm doing next. We got a lot of...
Yeah, what do you got up and coming for, like, the future? Like, where do you see yourself in, like, the next couple years? Like, the elongated future past?
So, there's an idea that I've really been interested in working on. It's going to be a pretty long process, but I want to follow, like, underground DJs throughout their journey into hopefully breaking out into the mainstream, but also just, like, seeing their work ethic, because I'm a part of that community of people who like started out from nothing with like no background in it, and I've worked my way up to where like a place where I still have room to grow, but I'm happy with like where I'm at and what I know.
Right.
So that's I wanted to make that into like a long form documentary style project, and that also kind of includes like some of my own personal experience, because I think the thing that captivates us as like media consumers is being able to relate to what you're doing.
Right.
And this is something that I'm super into. I'm super I can personally relate to, and I think with the oversaturation of DJs and musicians and artists, they could also kind of look at this and see, okay, there are people who are like constantly trying to better themselves. And I think it'd be a really interesting documentary, especially for like as a general media consumer, to not only be informed but also like enjoy.
Yeah.
And that probably isn't going to come for like at least another couple of years, but it's something I'm super interested in.
Those forms of media are always so dope, because I always feel like not only are they like entertaining and it's like cool, but like they're always super informational and inspirational, especially when you're like a young creative.
Yeah, I think a good example would be like Vice media style of documentary, where it's like it's informative, but it's also like teaches you something. That's what I'm really trying to do.
Hell yeah, which is lit. That's super cool. That's super like innovative. You got, bro. You got a lot of shit on your plate, but like you're doing a lot of like dope shit.
I also in recent have started like remixing a lot of the songs. Like I like to like Paramore, fucking Panic at the Disco. If anyone has ever seen me at a show, previously, I'll play fucking I Write Sins Not Tragedies. But also I've really been, I've been dabbling my toes in other bands that I liked. So I think one day I'm just gonna like realize that I've done this for like 27 different songs, put it together, and hope that like I don't get sued.
Word. Your mashups be crazy. It's like your transitions be crazy. Everything you do be crazy.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, due to this dying 1% battery, I'm gonna ask you, what do you got going on next day, week, month, year, century, millennium, or so?
Tomorrow we only got 1%. Tomorrow I'm recording my spot for WNYC, my last one. Next month, hanging out, getting better at journalism. Next year, hopefully have a staff position at some sort of like media company that I like. Next century, hopefully they'll have a park bench that says
using it there. Hopefully it stays on because I disconnected it from my phone.
Hopefully I'm taught in journalism classes or like there's a park bench that said that he sat here. And maybe getting something to eat later. Kind of want lamb over rice with white and hot sauce.
That sounds good as fuck.
For real. But yeah, that's about me.
Bro, this has been such a great interview talking about so many great different things. Oh man, the belt. That's alright. Thank you for coming, bro. Thank you for
inviting me.
Thank you for just talking and being real about everything. Thank you for talking about the journalism and the music and just like I think because you do interviews and as from a journalist to a journalist, like you made the interview really easy,
Yeah.
You just and it was just beautiful.
Yes or no questions don't really work in interviews. You really gotta kind of give a lot and like have something that they can take from it to like build on. Yeah, no, man, that was fucking awesome. I've been watching your stuff for quite some time now. First saw you when you interviewed Friday. I think what you're doing is really good. I think.
Bro, and that was pretty early on in all of this.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was like it's 2014. That was summer 2022, and I started this in like the winter of 2022.
God damn. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. No, that's awesome.
So
dude.
Thank you for like being a supporter since then. I really appreciate you.
I think music needs less musicians and artists and more people who will kind of help synthesize a scene and like grow it.
Yeah, and like document it and shit like that,
No, one day like this may or may not be studied by like top universities or people who just like enjoy things. So
word up.
Fuck, I love information. Shout out FOIL, Freedom of Information.
Real shit. No, yeah. And this was cool. Even like starting the beginning with got a little political. We got into journalism.
I knew it was gonna get political. I didn't think it'd get political that early, but I knew for a fucking fact. Yeah. There ain't no way that it wasn't going to. Free Gaza, free Puerto Rico, free the Congo, fuck any colonizers. I think we should I think we should focus less on accumulating wealth and more on the well-being of our planet and our population. We're all human. We all gotta live here. Let's not fucking murder each other.
Facts. Real shit. Like, it'd just be crazy to see how there's like a global agenda to divide us all in some way, shape, or form, It's just crazy. And fuck classism and fuck racism and fuck all this bigotry.
Fuck anything that tries to separate us past, like, us being fucking human.
Facts.
Because, like, I'm no different than you, except, like, your hair's a little bit longer, more luxurious. We're all the same on the inside. Got fucking 2 lungs, 1 heart, 1 brain.
Word up. Most of us.
No offense to anyone who doesn't, but,
Word up.
we are all anatomically the same or predisposed to be the same.
Yeah, man. A word, I think words it's words that you said that stuck with me from, I think, the flip phone interview. You were like, oh, capitalism is like modern day and slavery. And I was like, yo, that's so facts. Like, obviously I know that, but like to view it in that exact statement, like from that perspective, it's like, yo, we really are just like.
You're telling me that I have to work like 3 different fucking jobs to literally like attempt to survive? You're telling me that I need to slave away at a job that I probably won't like because I need, I don't fucking know, medicine? You're telling me that if I don't have a made-up currency that has been given value by like old white dudes, that I can no longer eat food or live or have a sense of security? No, it's fucked up.
It's insane, and it's like deliberately, like, it's just crazy, bro. It's like, it sucks because I beat the same nails into the same points all the time. Like, I feel like I am a broken record, but it's like I feel like it's so important.
Well, nothing's changed, so
yeah.
I think the fact that you still say it just kind of shows that nothing changes.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so important to like broadcast not only information but just like.
I think as a person with a platform, you should stand on something. Like, let it be something good, but at least just stand on something. Have viewpoints, have thoughts, have a message for people. Oh, I think it just said.
Ah, no! Alright, y'all. Well, you heard it here first. Cameras off. Anywho, just any final words, and they'll just see, like, probably a still frame.
Try to better yourself. Be kind to others. Don't be weird. We're all the same. So don't let anyone separate you. You're not better than everyone. And don't download too many mods because your Minecraft world might like slow down way too much.
Yeah, your frame rate might just drop.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Let me give it. Oh wait.
There you go.
It's for all of you of legal and consenting manner.
Hell yeah.
Little kiss for you guys. But yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Alrighty. Peace out, audience. All stuff will be in the description below. I don't know who I'm interviewing next week. Fuck Western imperialism. And we'll see you next week or 2 weeks or whenever I get the next interview done.
Oh yeah.
Peace in the Middle East, free Palestine. And subscribe and like and all that good stuff. Sorry the camera died, y'all.
And fuck Mr. Beast.
Facts. Peace.